This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Squarespace. An elderly man in New York suffered a seizure while he was waiting for a train at a train station. And after he suffered the seizure, he fell onto the train tracks. Apparently, his savior was there. He's 36-year-old Carlos Flores. And after he saw the elderly man on the train tracks, he actually went down to rescue him. Now, we've done a million stories like this before, but what makes this one unique is why Carlos Flores decided to save the elderly man. And this is what he said. I was thinking, if he gets hit, I can't go to work. It's Sunday. I can't miss out. It's time and a half day. So he was thinking about getting his overtime, and he didn't want to miss work because he wanted to make the money. So he actually risked his own life to save this elderly man and, take him out of harm's way. Except after he saved the elderly man, he himself was stuck on the train tracks, and he almost lost his life. But the train actually braked right in time before hitting him because the train conductor was actually told that there was somebody stuck on the tracks.
Okay, this story is both funny and sad, both heroic and tragic. Okay, because, look, I love that he saved the guy's life, but it's so, I think maybe the greatest tragedy out of all this is that we're all so desperate for money and jobs that we're like, look, man, I'm going to get time and a half. I can't let this guy's death get in the way of that.
Right.
Right? And I mean, I can't love enough the fact that he saved him. And obviously, it wasn't just that. I mean, you don't risk your life for time and a half. The fact that another guy might die, I'm sure, played a part in his decision. But man, risking your own life because we're all so desperate for, to keep making a living. It's an excellent and sad sign of the times.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, it is a sign of the times. And when you said, look, I'm sure that saving the man's life had a little bit of a role to play in it, I love JR's expression. It was hilarious. He looked at me. And he just shook his head like, no. I mean, when you really think about it, this guy is extremely courageous, right? How many people do you think would actually risk their own lives to save another when it comes to getting hit by a train?
Yeah, it happens sometimes in New York, but it doesn't happen often.
Right.
But this has got the perfect New Yorker attitude. He's like, oh, geez, and Lord mercy, this guy's going to go ahead and die on the tracks. I got to get this guy off so I can get to work.
Right.
That's great, man. And by the way, so then the train came in. They were taking care of the guy with the seizure. And he's like, I got to roll, man. And Carlos stepped in, went to work, got his time and a half.
Get it, Carlos.
Man, I'm his boss. I'm giving that dude a promotion, man. That dude wants to come into work.
Yeah, seriously. How devoted is he to his job? It's incredible.
Okay, hey, I don't see you picking up anybody off the, tracks or the side of the road to get to TYT.
Yeah, not buying it. I wouldn't do it. By the way, Carlos Flores, the man who saved the elderly guy on the train tracks, is significantly smaller than the guy that was stuck in the train tracks. So, I mean, he was really determined. He was not going to miss work. He didn't care how big the guy was. He didn't care how much of a challenge it would be. He didn't care that he might have lost his own life. He was going to get to work. There's no question about it. It's just an incredible story. All right.
Here's the thing. Let me ask you a quick question about this. Number one, I don't have to ask Jesus because here's who has no interest in risking his life to get to work on time. Jesus Godoy. Okay. But I am curious about JR. Forget the work part of it. JR, guys on the tracks, the train isn't quite coming yet, but you sense that it's close because that was the situation here. And then once he got down there, he saw the lights of the train, etc. coming. Do you jump in there to try to save the guy?
I really think it'd be the mood I was in. I thought about this when I was in New York a few months ago, and I was on the tracks because I was like, it was all these experiences. Like all the tracks, I always hear about. I read a bunch of stories about people who died on tracks. It was just, I have a morbid mind. So I've actually thought about this, and I was like, it depends on the mood. If it's nighttime and I'm tired, I'd go, damn. If I'm just got from the gym and I feel good and have a little blood pumping, maybe. Mm-hmm. I can never say yes 100% that I would. Maybe. I got to give you a maybe. But I think I'd have a plan. Depending on who it is, the size of the person, child, all that stuff. it has to be a quick 10-second move. If I can get down there, get you up there in under 20 seconds, I'll try it. If after I try for 20 seconds I can't do it, I'm sorry, man. And I'm back up on the thing. I'm sorry, I tried. Pat you on the head. I'm out of here.
Right.
You know?
All right. I love that whether that person lives or dies depends on whether JR's had his coffee or not.
I know. That's what I loved about that explanation. It was great.
New sponsor at the Young Turks, Squarespace. They help you build websites. They've got 24/7 support, and they've built some of the largest websites in the world.
They have an iPhone app, so you can edit your website on the go.
TYT promo code, 10% off for the life of your order. Squarespace.